tell them check out the blog, bro. YouTube channel called MKO.
But I don't feel it's going to go the distance. I know it ain't going to go the distance, this one. He's going to get taken out way before then, and it's going to be in devastating fashion, as I've showed before, and he's going to sleep, as I said.
And if that doesn't work, then what are you going to do?
It will work.
You've got one way to win, Daniel. You've got one way to win, so you better make sure it happens. Because you're not winning.
I won't miss. I won't miss him. He's just too.
He ain't gonna miss either.
He's there, so I ain't gonna miss.
I mean, you're gonna get plenty back in the chops. Plenty back. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I look forward to it.
Fun. You're getting taken out in style.
Huh?
You're gonna get taken out.
Oh yeah, well we'll see.
Honestly.
We'll take you out for a steak after the fight.
Go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's MKO Pugilism. That's right, the boxing channel, talking all things boxing.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
And right now, we've got a big fight coming up, a huge one for British boxing.
Big time.
And it's just been confirmed. We've got Joe the Juggernaut Joyce versus Dynamite Daniel Dubois, Triple D.
The big giants.
Exactly, two big giants. One dynamite and one immovable object.
Was they call him Juggernaut, right? So yeah.
Juggernaut, yep, that's what he calls himself.
The same guy from the X-Men, is it?
That's right, yeah, from the old Marvel comics and all that business.
If it's the X-Men, then no one can beat him.
No chance.
No normal human being, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No mere mortal.
When is this fight? Is it?
This is going to be taking place at the place we love to go to, the O2 Arena in Greenwich, and it's in London, taking place April the 11th this year, 2020, just a few months away now. So wow, it came like a storm, and it's also, we know, it's a local one for Daniel Dubois, because Daniel Dubois is a young man from Greenwich.
From Greenwich, yeah.
So he's from Greenwich himself. So for Dubois now,
so it's going to be all the fans.
Exactly.
Homeland.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's certainly going to be hoping for everyone to come out. So it'll be interesting. And it's been a whirlwind. Talking about both boxers' careers. Dubois is actually 14-0 going into this fight. And Joe Joyce is 10-0 going into this fight with 9 knockouts, and I think Dubois has knocked out 13 of his 14.
Oh yeah.
So it's yeah, they're both two punchers.
People was like comparing him to like Mike Tyson at one point, just the way he's knocking people out.
Yeah, a big guy just smoking people.
Very aggressive, and I like that about him. So. Juggernaut is a big puncher himself, but he's not. I don't think he's as aggressive as Dubois, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's more slow and cumbersome. I mean, it's one of these things where this fight is kind of an early career sort of crossroads fight, because you've got one guy who's really been fast tracked.
That's right.
Which is Joe Joyce, the Juggernaut, because he came into professional boxing just a few years ago. He came into amateur boxing quite late. He was 20-something, I believe, when he 22, 23, whatever. And as a pro, he's only had 10 fights, but his first fight was actually a 10-round fight, which is pretty much unheard of for a prospect.
But, you start from 4 to 6 rounds.
Normally you start with a 4-rounder, 6-rounder if you want a few more. But he had his first fight against Ian Lewison, respectable name, a guy that used to box for Repton as an amateur, and decent amateur record, I think. And he's a guy who was not on world level as a pro, but he's a guy who was a respectable name. He was a durable guy, and he had fought guys like Dorian Darch, guys like Tom Dallas, and beaten those two. And he was just coming off of a loss to Dillian White, who we all know is a world-class fighter. So, even Joyce's first fight, he was mixing with a guy who had mixed it at decent, at least domestically speaking, level, and possibly when it comes to White, even world level. So, we know going into this record-wise, Joyce, although they've only had few fights, Joyce has definitely got the deeper and sort of better resume in terms of names fought. He's fought, to name a few, Bermain Stavern. And Bermain Stavern was a world champion, WBC world champ, who, you know, his losses have come to Deontay Wilder, which is no disgrace. You know, he had Bryant Jennings, who's another guy.
That's a good boxer, Bryant Jennings. A vegan,
very good,
vegan boxer, isn't it? Like, he trains hard, you know, I believe like being a vegan make him a better boxer. It's in better shape.
That vegan diet business,
He still carried good strength, so it was one of like he trains hard for that fight. I watched it, so I followed his training camp. Brian Jenny came in really strong as well, and then you know both fighters. I mean, everyone was saying like Brian Jenny is a good name fighter, but it wasn't his peak anymore. Like you know, it was back in the days.
That could be.
And to me, that fight was it was a good fight, but it was a very fight that you was just like, ways to defend, you know. And to me, watching that fight and then comparing that to fighting Dubois is going to be a tough one for me to call. Like, what am I going to be going for? You know, watching that Brian Jennings fight and then versus the Juggernaut.
Joe Joyce.
And then you know, to me, I'm gonna be banking on
Dubois side, right?
Yeah, Dubois side. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was his last fight, wasn't it?
Who? Joyce and Jennings? No, I think.
Did he fight after that?
That might have been actually.
That
may well have been. That may well have been the last one.
That was his last
He's
fight.
been out for a while, so that could have been. We'll have to check that on the box rec. But I mean, going into it, it's one of those, as we say. There's another important fact going into this fight that is possibly going to affect Joyce. It's just a matter of how, and that is the fact that Joe Joyce has split with his trainer, Adam Booth, before this camp. So, you know, Joyce has been through a few trainers, Ismail Salas. He also had Abel Sanchez up at high altitude in Big Bear, you know, the man who famously trained Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, up there in the mountains. So Joyce has been through a few not fighters. He's been through a few trainers in his time, and he's only had 10 fights. So that could be another factor leading into this fight. In maybe not physically, but mentally, where is his head going to be with this change of trainer? And
doesn't also show disciplinary as well. Like, I mean,
it could be
you've been
discipline
training for that long. You just what is it? Is it you? Is it the trainers? Like, I mean, it can be the trainers if you change 3 trainers, you know, so far during the
10 pro bouts. I mean, it's a 2-year career so far, going on to 3 years.
That's a lot of training. Like, you know, some boxers are with the same trainer since the beginning of amateur, once they turn pro.
A lot of them are. A lot of them are.
To find a boxer that keep changing trainers like that is like, what does it show about him as a boxer? You know, does it show does he have a fault in himself? Does he think he's not good enough that he needs another new trainer to bring out the best in him? You know, we'll find out, and this is going to play a big part in it.
Because it could be, you know, it's one of those where it could be the trainers ain't happy with what he's doing, or he's not happy with what he's doing.
He's the trainer that's walking away from him, or he's the one that's changing this?
Well, the trainer, you know, obviously they're getting paid, so they're not going to be necessarily walking away, but it could be anything. It could be that the trainers, maybe it could be personal.
Trainer walked away. What's his name? Andy Ruiz. Trainer walked away from him.
No, he was fired.
Was fired?
Manny Robles was fired.
I read it to say that he walked away. That he said he didn't want to train Andy Ruiz.
No, he's.
Maybe
that's
where you get your sources from. We can talk about that
another video. But so also we've heard he's going to be training now in Las Vegas, Nevada, for this fight, which is going to be held in London, where it's cold, and he's going to Las Vegas, Nevada, for his training camp. And he said he's going to announce a new trainer soon. That is Joe Joyce. So it's going to be interesting. Even the promotion has been very surprisingly spicy, surprisingly lively for this, because these are two guys that are not talkers. They're not known for talking smack and talking about downplaying their opponents. They're very respectful, very quiet, very subdued and calm, but they really went for it. the managers were arguing. You know, Joe Joyce's manager arguing with Frank Warren at the press conference. Joe Joyce, you know, even on Good Morning Britain, you know, TVs in the morning, they're on there, and Dubois was smiling, saying, yeah, he's going to put Joyce to sleep and all this business. So the build-up to this has been surprisingly, you know, lively. Surprisingly, they've been talking that smack to each other, which that's another thing to notice. And they had the face-off, you know, we saw that, and there was even a little shove, you know, and, you know, they had the faced off against each other, and, you know, they were talking to each other, and literally, you know, Dubois went right out of character. He just shoved Joyce away from him when they come face to face, head to head. He just shoved him out there. Yeah. So Dubois is becoming a little ragamuffin thing. You know what I mean? He's really coming out of his shell. You know.
It's all part of promotion.
Yeah, you've got to promote it with the big boys.
Promotion, like they knew that they both guys are too boring, they're too quiet.
Yeah, they're very quiet.
To get a bit of like a little like response from the fans.
Yeah.
So they need to
something
have
to
that.
talk about.
Yeah, something to talk about like we're doing right now. So yeah, and it's interesting. We want more of that actually. So
yeah, we want some
keep
action,
doing
man.
that. So we want that to happen still. Yeah.
Yeah, bring your fire. I mean, just as a last point, you know, we could. With Dubois, he's talking about his career, looked very impressive as a pro. Out of the two, he looks the more conventional, the more well coordinated, and he's, as far as the general public goes, Dubois seems to be the favourite amongst the public. I think with the bookies, in terms of betting odds, if I'm not mistaken, Dubois seems to be the favourite. So Joyce is the slight underdog, not a big underdog, but he's the slight underdog. With Dubois' record, there's not really many notable names. I suppose the most notable I can think of is Kevin Johnson, who is known for getting beat by Tyson Fury on points, Anthony Joshua by stoppage, and Dubois took him sort of the 12-round distance. And his other significant name is Nathan Gorman, a heavyweight trained by Ricky Hatton. At the time, he was an undefeated prospect, and Dubois was able to make sort of easy work of him, to make light work of him. The fight wasn't even close. So with Dubois, the favourite thing sort of comes from, I would say, potential. Because so far, he hasn't really fought somebody to bring out that potential. And this is what it's all about now. We're going to see whether, you know, this guy is the real deal, you know, or whether, you know, he still needs some seasoning. He still needs to be sort of prepared for a little bit longer. But I think this is a fight where, in Joyce's case, he definitely can't afford to lose this. But in Dubois' case, he also don't want to lose this, but because he's younger, at about 22 years old, he can come back from this. Whereas Joyce, you know, there won't really be many places he can go at now, 34 years old. So we're really looking forward to it, and you know, we're looking to be there. Definitely love to be at this fight. So hopefully me and Kev can get there. Hopefully, you know, the promoters can see this, give us a few free tickets to, you know, to the fight, MKO Pugilism. That's a little reach there, but you know. But anyway, guys, we thank you for staying with us for yet another blog, and yeah, we'll be talking more on Fight Night, or leading up to Fight Night, should I say. So MKO Pugilism, over and out.
Bye.